Let's see here. Some heard some skip out there, so thought I'd come in and see what happens when I go live. Double 1, double 2 wingnut on the side of the road and listening. John, you still out there?
Yeah, I'm fixing the plug. I'm changing the plug over because this other plug is a breaker plug. I'm fixing it over. Maybe that's the reason why it's popping. So I'm doing that there. I'm still here.
Oh, Roger. Yeah. No, I was just starting to hear some Trinidad and all that stuff coming in.
That's why I'm messing with that amplifier to see if I can get that going. That other one's like a kitchen breaker. The plug, I changed it out to a regular plug.
Oh, Roger.
Well, what I'm trying to say is that kitchen plug outlet one could be like a 15 amp. Could be causing what's going on and not enough juice. So I'm changing it.
Is the plug popping or is it the breaker?
You got the breaker on the plug. And then you got the regular breaker. I'm going to check it, make sure I've taken the plug off completely, put a regular plug on.
Yeah, that's with them GFI plugs or whatever. That's why I was asking. Was the plug itself tripping or was it the breaker?
I think both at the same time.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Hello, Blue Waters 17 Trinidad, West Indies.
Hey, 17, double 1, double 2, listening.
Alabama. It's 794, man. You're making a nice ship around Trinidad. You're very loud around the island, man. Good evening times, 17 Trinidad. Alabama, 2 or 3 return. Okay, you take care. Have a good one. 17 around the island of Trinidad. It's starting, man. Good trip down here in Barbados. Also there, go ahead. Okay, you take care. Bye-bye. Barbados, 4294, 203. Yeah, bye-bye. Yeah, I was on Alabama earlier there, 35, but you're making a fine trip still there, go ahead. Okay, 75, bye-bye.
The 1122 wingnut on the side.
Station, Southern Barbados. Yeah, 739, Tennessee, 2 or 3 return. Okay, 739, all the best from Barbados. 203, Barbados is sounding good. Take care, 73910. good in Barbados also there, go ahead. Okay, 294, bye-bye, cha-cha.
$11.22 Wingnut Radio. You're on side. Hey, looks like somebody's out there watching. That's pretty cool. We got one person watching so far.
I can show you making a trip in Barbados there, go ahead. Oh, Georgia Warren, you cover everybody. How are you supposed to?
A lot of them guys down there in the south of us, out here in the islands, and
Okay, David, take care. 203, bye-bye.
down there in Trinidad and Barbados and a little bit of Brazil. All south.
0327 in the Mobile, Alabama. 203, return, go ahead. Yeah, that Navajo sounded good. That old blue radio, you're sounding good there, Greg. Don't do that.
Who's that out there watching?
Take care, all the best, bye-bye.
Who's out there watching the live feed?
327 Mobile, 203 clear, bye-bye. That's 227 here, 227 there, go ahead.
Hello, my friend.
Okay.
Friend is from Virginia, copy 3, your Charlie 105 is at Brazil.
Well, I think the comments and all that stuff is turned on so I can see them, I think.
It sounded good. 353
But,
to read it back. 353.
I have yet to see anybody comment while the live feed's going on, so I have no idea if it's even working. I did get a like. Whoever that was, there's a like. Oh, cool. We got one person watching, one person liking it. That's pretty awesome. 'Cause I kind of like that anyway. That's pretty cool. Thank you, whoever that was. I'm not sure who that is right off the bat.
Audio sound good. Audio check. Audio sound good.
Hey, this is the 1122 Wingnut Radio out here in the Panhandle, Florida, listening. São Paulo, Brazil. Brazil. Trinidad. And got Trinidad, Barbados, Brazil, all of them down there in the West Indies and in South America coming in right now. That's pretty much what's coming in. Not a whole lot of anything else. Skip-wise, anyway.
Alright, David, man. We passed the 5 there. Keep it alive there. Give us a...
196, Charlie 157. 73 is here. Bye-bye. Thanks. Bye-bye. Many thanks.
Who's that station going to the West Indies? You got a copy of 17. Hey, 434, we got a copy. 17 got a copy of 353. 17 got a copy, go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you guys, man, it was freaking cold last night. It dropped down to freezing last night.
We got a lot of hot sun around the island. around the island, hot and breezy, the QSL.
And it's still cold out there. Sun's shining, but it's still freaking cold out there. Oh, that must be that global warming out there, huh? Global warming freezing us all to death. Idiots.
Alright, 434, take care, have a good one. 17 Trinidad, standing by. Who's that station calling Trinidad? The station over there calling Trinidad. Who is that? Hey, 303, go ahead, we got a copy. Hey, 30317, go on. Alright, 303, man, we got a copy, small copy on you, so take care. 17 around Trinidad, saying evening times. Starting by.
Hey, 17, you got a copy? 1122?
Yeah, 11, go ahead, we got a copy.
Hey, come on down, man. Hey, this is the 1122 down here in Panama City. Just tipping my hat, sir.
Come on, you're making a good trip around the island of Trinidad, man. Making a beautiful trip around the island. We say good evening there, give us a...
Hey, good evening right back, sir. It's good to hear you guys down there in the islands coming in.
Yeah, man, the island, around the island is very hot around the island. Hot and breezy there, give us a...
Shoot, well, hell, it got down to freezing here in the Panhandle. Yeah, I'm glad to see it's warm somewhere.
Okay, take care. 17 Trinidad West Indies, standing by. Who is that in Trinidad? You got a copy of Trinidad West Indies, go on.
Yeah, I got a copy out there in Brazil. Come on down. The 1122 listening. I heard a station out there hollering for me. This is the 1122 listening.
What's that station calling Trinidad? How the station out there calling Trinidad? You got a copy of 17 Trinidad West Indies, go on.
Hey, the 1122 Wingnut Radio out here in the Panhandle, Florida listening.
Hello, my friend. 73, that's my friend. 3 area Charlie 157. My name is William. From Sao Paulo City, Brazil. Copy.
Hey, copy QSL 157 1122 out here in the northwest corner of Florida listening to you, sir. QSL doing the same thing over here, anywhere from 5 to 7 on this end, sir. It's good to hear you out there, sir. Well, they call me Wingnut. Wingnut, up here in the northwest corner of Florida, Roger.
Bye-bye.
73, 3 Romeo Charlie 157. This is 2 Fox India 1122. Back out.
Making a beautiful trip
from Panama, Florida, man, around the island of Trinidad, man. It's really been working. My man, I'm coming off on my antenna is a Sigma 4, and my read is a range of 2970 into the QSL.
Yeah, QSL, I'm running a striker there, and a date, 2 pushing 8 there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, I see this radio been working. My radio been working around Panama, man. So you take care, enjoy the day. One save around the island of Trinidad, West Indies, the QSL.
All right, dear QSL, you take care. 73-514 out of Panama. Hey, Mikey,
Yes, sir.
what's the sound?
It's all right, man.
Did jump up any on you? Hello, 1212.
Yeah, about a 20.
Good deal.
Another station how they call it West Indies. Another station how they call it West Indies. You got-
Yeah, while you were talking to him, I went over on another frequency, man, talking to a guy out there in Brazil.
All right, you see around North Carolina, man, you're making a beautiful trip around the island of Trinidad. You're making a beautiful trip around the island of Trinidad. Take care, one save around Trinidad, West Indies. Started by.
All South Skip. That's what it sounds like.
Oh, yeah.
All right, that station around Alabama, I didn't get your number. But you got a copy of one save around the island of Trinidad, West Indies. Thank you, sir. Hey, 684, we got a copy. And you 684, we got a copy. Go ahead. You're making a beautiful trip around the island of Trinidad. We have you with 8x9. We got you by 8x9. You're very loud. You yourself.
Who is that out there watching? There's somebody out there watching the live feed. I don't know who that is. Somebody out there watching. I'm guessing. My guess it's Shooter out there watching, but I don't know. But I don't know who's out there watching right now.
Yeah, who the station how they call it Trinidad again? Who the station how they call it Trinidad? You get a copy of 17 Trinidad West Indies. Come on.
Be nice if I can get more than just one person watching the damn thing, but I mean,
What
you
am I
know.
giving you now, Mike?
Yeah, that's
Give me a long audio.
the station how they call it Trinidad. 17 around the island of Trinidad.
Audio,
Started by.
hello, Mikey.
Give me a long audio.
Audio.
Hey, Judge, you want
Yeah, anywhere from a 10 to a 20.
you got a copy?
Does it really make a difference?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, it's about a 10 or about a 10.
Okay, when I turn it on, it slams it or what?
No.
What five? What to that? Come on.
Like I said, with this striker, man, when you first key up, it goes straight to 60 dBs. You have to let it settle, and you know what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's why I say give me a long audio because it'll settle down to where it really is.
Audio.
Yeah, I'd say about that's with everything on.
122 call with a 5.
Come on down, 17.
I think any chuck.
Say
Chuck there for you, the QSL.
say what now? What'd you say there, 17?
Yeah, you got a chuck there, the QSL.
Hey, Roger.
What do you say? Yep.
Hey, pass the 5, man. You see, you get the chuck one. So you pass the 5 to you, pass it to me, and I pass it to you once. You see, get you the QSL.
Hey, QSL. Good to hear you out there, man.
All right, long zip working the dark here. Audio. We'll get up to.
It's working, John. You're giving me a lot, man. It's just loud and it's all right.
That's what friends are about.
Good deal.
As long as it's not popping anything, you're fine.
All right, Judge, you want to take care one thing with a wave, and I'm good.
Yeah, 17's the loudest one out there.
Guy right there.
Say what?
Who's the guy out there talking?
Yeah, 1-7 out there in Trinidad. He's pretty loud.
Yep.
I mean, it's perfect conditions for a witch doctor, you know, because I'm surprised he's not out there talking.
Hey, TK037, TK17, Long Island, Trinidad, starting by. Hey, 357, good, we got a copy, 17, got a copy, good. No, that's not the witch doctor, man. This isn't the witch doctor, this is him come on this radio. I didn't hear the witch doctor for the day there, kill yourself. Alright, Chief, what is it, man? You saw me, but that why I'm working. That why I'm definitely working around guys on the Trinidad, man. So you take it. Enjoy it. 35717 around the island. Take yourself.
C1122 Wingnut Radio, wiggling modulation out there.
Alright, Chief, what is it? You take it. Enjoy the day. 17 around the island of Trinidad. It's started, man. Yeah, go ahead. That station going 17 around Florida. Go on. You're making a nice trip around the island of Trinidad. You're making a beautiful trip around the island of Trinidad. You kill yourself? Alright, W3, you take care. 17 around Trinidad, West Indies. Starting, man. No copy around the Blue Waters. No get back around the Blue Waters. 17 Trinidad, West Indies. Starting, man. Hey, 760, good, we got a copy. Hey, 760, 17, got a copy, good. Yeah, man, you're making a beautiful trip around the island of Trinidad, man. You're making a nice trip. You have your 5x6 around Trinidad and yourself.
Hey, this is the 1122 Wingnut Radio listening.
I wonder if anybody here in my well,
Yeah, we hear it. How about that guy with the ground plane? 514 out of Panama City.
holy moly.
How about that guy with the holy moly? 514. It popped it. Yeah, it
Let
won't
me
take
take
it.
this beam up, sitting right just off the roof. Let me see if it's going to work.
Just popped the breaker.
Yeah,
It ain't working. No, I got a quad into the IMAX. I got to put a beam. The beam is.
I don't know how much money
I
I
can
got
stand on
left.
the roof and touch the beam, so I might be getting some problems on the galvanized. Hold a minute.
Well, the thing, like I said, I might have a 30 amp somewhere.
Man, they got a 40 over there for $13. They got a 13 over there for $13. Okay, so might as well get the 40, you know?
The ground plane just now.
Oh, Roger, I didn't think it was that. I thought it was a little bit more than that.
These got some brands and they are both $13. So, get the 40, drop the 40 in and just cover it.
The ground plane,
Yeah, Roger.
is this 5 element?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't have anything higher than a 30 because I've been collecting 30s just, you know, because I was when I was going to do with that washer.
It's pointing in the right direction, but it was on the ground plane before. Alright, that's station on road, Georgia. Where we got a copy? Georgia, how you doing? Everything is good on Q5 nice around Trinidad, man. Sunny and breezy around the island, the Q5. Like I say, it's probably looking almost in the right direction, but I'm probably getting some reflect off the roof. The metal roof is galvanized, and I can stand on the galvanized and touch the beam, which is just about between, 6 and 8 feet. So I was just wondering if it was, getting any reflect or anything. It was coming up better than the IMAX was. Alright, thank you. No problem. So we get out of Trinidad too. Have a good one. Once I'm started, mate. 294, you got a copy? I know this morning you told me to go on 465, but you're bad sitting in city's car. You agree, so we're gonna rock to the road, man, so it's load. Room guy, let me take care of a good one. Once I'm started, mate. Good, we follow the station for what's him. What is that? Say what's him? Go on. Okay, good evening. What's going on? Everything is good. Hot and sunny. Around the island, we're very breezy around the island. It's hot and breezy. They give us in.
Whoa, man, oh man. It's 1 o'clock.
Come on, you take your son, you be there, you might be on 1-7 side, right?
Georgia. Remaining at the 2 waters of the Caribbean. Hello.
I'm going down, pick up a stronger breaker.
Roger. I'll be standing by. Hey, for whoever out there watching and stuff like that happens to be watching live feeds, which as this moment right now looks like nobody's watching now, but anybody that watched the live feeds, hey, feel free to comment. I mean, especially during the live feeds, because I'm still trying to figure out if this damn thing works, if the comment section on this thing works. I think I got it turned on, but even then, even if you don't get on the live feed and make comments, make any comments you want, man. I mean, you know, I'm curious about what people think about just any kind of subject out there, not necessarily just about radio or skip conditions and all that other shit. But there's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now, and I'm curious about what everybody else thinks about them. You know, like all this crap going on in our government, or the corporation government, posing as our government, actually. And then on top of that, all the shit that's going on around the world, you know, like this new war that we're probably going to get into in Venezuela. These communists trying to take our guns away from us and disarm us. You know, these stories about children's services and stuff kidnapping children from their parents. Planned Parenthood continually use the tax dollars that they steal from us to fund murder of babies. So, I mean, you know, there's a lot of stuff out there to talk about. And I'm curious about what everybody's thinking about this stuff. Because this is what's going on right now. You know, I'm just curious. Because, I mean, I pay attention to history and current events, all this other stuff. Everything from, you know, to, from AI systems to government, different types of government corporation projects and plans for the people of this country. And also, are you prepared for some bullshit to happen? Some crazy stuff out there, because these communists, they want to kill us off. If we don't comply with their demands, they're just willing to kill us all off. So, I mean, you know, are you ready? Are you prepared? Are you willing to kill to protect yourself, protect your family from tyranny? I mean, seriously. If the government corporation decides that your children are their property and they want to kidnap your children away from you, are you willing to kill to protect your family? Because that's really what it is. It's self-defense. Protection of you and your family. And they consider all of us government property. We, as people, the flesh and blood persons, the flesh and blood people, the men and women out there, because we're not persons. That's a fictitious corporation too. But I mean, all of us, flesh and blood men and women out there, including our children, they consider us their property. What do you think about that? Are we the government's, i.e. the state's property? Is our children the state's property where they can just tell us what to do with our children, how, and if we don't comply with what they tell us to do, they can kidnap our children away from us? This just happens to be one subject. And like I said, if we don't comply with their demands, they're willing to kill us to achieve their goals. Are you willing to kill them in protection of you and your family? I think it's a very interesting subject because honestly, man, there's a lot of people out there that are affected by this government bureaucracy that thinks that we're all their property and they can do whatever they want to us. Because quite honestly, man, in my opinion, any of these politicians or whatever, when they enact any unconstitutional statutes or codes or anything like that, they're traitors to the Republic. They're traitors to us. They're traitors to the American people. All right? And then any law enforcement or any government agency that uses violence to enforce these unconstitutional statutes and codes and stuff are also traitors. They're also enemies of the Republic. They're traitors of the American people. All right? So the only way to not be that is you have to make a decision. You either honor your oath to the Constitution or to uphold and protect the Constitution and the American people, or you're going to ignore that and just do what you're told. Because it really comes down to it. See, the Constitution, that's just there to ensure and protect our God-given rights. Now, anything that's unconstitutional goes against God. All right? So I ask for all law enforcement and government employees, who do you serve? Do you serve God, or do you serve politicians and bankers that pay your paychecks? Because if you serve God, it is up to you to either make a decision to either quit your job and do something that's actually productive with your life. That is, it goes with the Constitution and your oath. Or if you're in a position of law enforcement or military, it is your duty to go after these traitors. It is your duty to actually go after these traitors and arrest them. And it's also your moral obligation to arrest these traitors, convict them, and put them in a hole. The only way the American people will actually be free, because this is not a free country anymore, it's down to a police state. The only way we can be free again is this so-called police state to go away. And the only way we can do that, I guess, is either people in those positions of law enforcement or military actually start following their oath. You know, like all these traitors in the Congress and all that shit, or traitors in the Senate. I really think that you know, even though our founding fathers knew the dangers of a standing army, and the only real the only real national defense of this country is a well-regulated militia, and that's all of us. We're all militia, the people of this country, and we are the last defense of the national defense. But if the military or the people in the military actually make the decision to follow their oath, what needs to happen is you guys need to go up there in full force into the DC or anything like that and yank these traitors right out of these fucking chairs that they're in and arrest them. Put them in front of a military tribunal and actually convict them, put them in orange jumpsuits, and put them in a freaking hole somewhere for the rest of their lives. And you know what's even better? Put a live feed on them so we can all just watch them if we want to. You know, put a live feed in their jail cell or in their wherever they're put, and so we can just click on the internet and watch them. So we know. But unfortunately, right now at this time, these traitors are trying to project their own evil onto everybody else, and I'm sick of it. You know, I'm sick of the police state and police officers. You know, just one aspect, asking for your ID or demanding your identification, even though you haven't committed any crimes. Because, I mean, you know, the only way they can legally demand your ID is if you committed a crime or you've been arrested. But yet they circumvent that. A lot of them, they try to put the cart before the horse. Because technically, you know, the cart itself is like a secondary charge. That's the not giving your ID, not identifying yourself. The first, the horse that pulls the cart, the first thing that should happen is you have to be suspected of a crime or committing a crime or about to commit a crime. That's when they can demand your ID. But otherwise, they've been trying to circumvent that, get that ID first. You know, I mean, what's the difference between a Nazi officer asking for your papers and a United States America's police department asking for your ID illegally? What's the difference between the two? I mean, you know, it even comes down, even on taxes. That's actually theft, because the definition of theft is taking something from somebody that doesn't belong to you. With, you know, that's stealing, theft. Now, what's the difference between me putting a gun to your head and demanding you to give me money? And what's the difference between me doing that and the corporation claiming to be government doing that from you? What's the difference between the two? You know, I mean, seriously, both of them is still theft. You know, the corporation calling itself the government, coming in and using violence, using people with guns to take what's not theirs. That's the same thing. I mean, there is no difference. It's the same thing like when it comes down to a cop asking or trying to demand your identification. It's the same thing as a Nazi Germany officer doing the same thing. Remember, and you know, you gotta remember, if you gotta look to history also, all those black and white photos that you see back in the day of all those big pits of bodies, you know, and all these officers standing up on the banks of these holes with all these dead bodies in it, those were law enforcers. All right? Those were law enforcers. They're the same fucking thing as this police state today. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because we as Americans need to make that decision. Are you willing to kill to protect yourself and protect your family away from tyranny? I mean, this gun confiscation, bills and all that stuff that they're trying to pass in the legislation now, it all leads to confiscation of weapons to disarm us. And every time through history government has disarmed the people, it has always led to execution. All right? I mean, hell, that's what created the damn Civil War when the British were trying to, overtax and take the weapons away from the people and stuff. And people decided to say, fuck you! And got to the point where they're willing to kill these people. All right, now, I ask Americans today, even though, in this day and age, are you willing to kill to protect your life and protect your family's life? Even if it's a guy with some people with costumes, with badges, and all this other shit, claiming to be government or official law enforcement or whatever. I mean, like I said, I've said it before when it comes down to like this last hurricane here in Panama City, Hurricane Michael. It made me really think about what if I was prepared, because I know I was somewhat prepared for something to go on, something to happen. But when that happened, I knew I wasn't quite as prepared as I needed to be, and I still really am not quite prepared that I need to be right now. I'm better off than I was right before the storm. So if it was ever to happen again right now, I'd be all right for a little while. But like I said, it's one of them things. Are you ready? Because their willingness to kill us all doesn't give them authority, doesn't give them jurisdiction, or any of that shit. It just means that they're willing to kill us to get their way. Are you willing to defend yourself from their will? I ask all Americans this. I also ask law enforcement and government employees. Are you just going to follow orders? Or are you going to actually follow your oath to uphold and protect the Constitution of the United States and the liberties of the people? Because if you're just going to follow orders because that's what they told you to do, that excuse, that defense it didn't work back in the Nuremberg trials when the Nazis were on trial. It didn't work then, and it's not going to work now. Because I've asked my family, and even though they're family, they're still willing to just follow orders. And that puts a target on their head. Not necessarily for me. I'm just saying that just puts a target on their head if they're going to be a order follower. And I find that disappointing. Because it makes me wonder if my family, if they were ordered to come here, seize my weapons, and kidnap me and put me in some kind of a camp, yeah, I would probably defend myself. I'd probably get killed in the process, but that's what they want. They'd rather just kill us all off. Anybody that does not comply or submit to their will. They just rather kill us all off. It's cheaper just to kill us all off. So when the shit starts hitting the fan, I hope you people are not going to follow the orders. You know? If it's unconstitutional, immoral, which if it's unconstitutional, it's immoral. If it's immoral, you should refuse to follow orders. And if you don't, you are just as guilty as every other communist out there that wants to destroy this country. I don't care if you're family. If you're blood related, I'm very disappointed in you if that's what the answer you got is. Nah. Because I've asked them. I was like, okay, listen. If your superiors were to tell you to come down here and confiscate weapons and start doing like a mandatory evacuation to camps, would you do it? And I've asked family members that are in the military, I've asked police officers and all that stuff, and unfortunately I've got the overwhelming answer is, well, yes, that's what I was told to do, that's what I would do. That's very disappointing, you know, because there's going to be a lot of people dead and a lot of people that are going to die because of that. So the only way this government corporation cannot defeat us is if they don't have anybody fighting for them. And that's what it is. If you believe in this country and you believe in the people of this country and you believe that we have God-given inalienable rights, you must refuse these orders to do these immoral acts. You must refuse. You must refuse. And no matter what it is. I mean, seriously, I don't give a shit if your fucking retirement pension and all that shit's up for grabs and all that stuff. I don't care if your fucking job, you know, honestly, man, I don't give a shit. Quit your fucking job. I mean, seriously, if you want to be a moral person and that has actually values and ethics and all that other shit, and you're gonna and you don't want to quit your job, you better start changing what happens in your job. You know, stop following these immoral orders, or quit your fucking job. Or, in my opinion, also you can be one of those good people, one of those so-called good cops that people talk about, and start actually arresting and getting these people arresting other officers that are bad, arresting even people that are above you. You know, if your chief, if you're any of your fellow officers are all order followers, and they are violating people's civil rights, you should arrest them. You should arrest them. Because it's going to get down to the point where people are really, really sick and tired of having their civil rights violated, having this police state enacting all these unjust, unlawful, immoral, unconstitutional statutes and codes. Anyway, nobody's watching. And I'm curious to see what anybody has to say about all this stuff. But nobody's going to comment for some reason. I don't know. Nobody really... I mean, it's just... it needs to be talked about, because I really wonder, are you willing to kill to protect yourself from tyranny? It's going to turn the average, everyday, normal motherfucker into a fucking warrior. That's what it's going to do. When these people continue to do what they're trying to do, it's going to turn average, everyday, normal motherfuckers into fucking warriors. And any of these law enforcers or any of that shit that try to do any of this stuff, they're going to get killed. And quite honestly, man, I don't really want a whole lot of bloodshed, but I'm going to tell you something, man. Any of these order followers, you're putting a target on your head. You are going to get killed. And so my suggestion is not to follow these unconstitutional, immoral laws. Or they're not even laws. They're actually statutes and codes. Do not follow these orders. Do not enforce these unconstitutional statutes. Because, I mean, I'm just trying to save your life. I'm trying to save your life. The law enforcement out there, I'm trying to save your life. Because honestly, man, it's just the way it is. Anyway, let me go back to the skip. I probably said too much. The 1122 wing nut on the side.
Mr. 201, around to the beach. Have a good evening. Appreciate all of the enjoy the balance of your evening. Which Dr. 1 Radio 001, St. Baptist of America 002. We've been right back to you on the wonderful.
Actually, I'm asking everybody around the planet when it comes down to it. Because all governments out there are tyrannical. All governments in the world are not for the people. They are there. The governments are nothing but to try and create more control and generate revenue and oppress, suppress, and all that. When it comes down to all governments do that. So I ask all peoples of the world, don't you think it's time that we, the people of this planet, should be free from governments? Because quite honestly, man, if you really take an objective look at it, what exactly does government do that is positive and helpful and that even do anything for the people? I mean, seriously. Is there anything that governments do today that is good for the people that we, as the people, cannot live without if it was gone? I mean, name one thing. Name one thing that the government does that we cannot live without. All right, and I'm talking about all governments around the planet. All of them. Because honestly, man, I can't think of anything that we the people cannot do for ourselves, that we need government to do for us. I really don't think there's anything. So what does government do? Well, they create wars. They put these our military servicemen into wars with other countries, with other governments. Quite honestly, in my opinion, I think all government peoples, you know, the peoples that are like the heads up in the governments and all that, instead of having wars and putting our military men into harm's way, I think those people just should get into a cage match and fight it out. Leave the people the fuck alone. Because honestly, man, none of these wars are actually are doing anything to protect our liberties, our freedoms. Nothing. All they're doing is just protecting their own interests when it comes down to money and control. And I'm so sick and tired of these people. There's a lot of people out there on YouTube that are putting this stuff like sovereign citizens. There is no such thing as a sovereign citizen. We are all born sovereign. And then there's citizens. You know? There's no such thing as a sovereign citizen. That's an oxymoron. You cannot be sovereign and a citizen at the same time. You're either one or the other. You're either sovereign or you're a citizen. It's just disinformation, trying to discredit what the reality is. And the ignorant people out there believing that shit, you've been programmed. You've been programmed for generations. It's the reason why you think that way. The government is not sovereign. We the people are sovereign. The sovereign is what gives the government authority. Alright? We, the sovereign, can also take that fucking authority back. Because honestly, that was what the founding fathers decided. Founding fathers wrote this stuff down on a piece of paper so that it could be insured and protected. But they've perverted it. Not the founding fathers, but the people after the Civil War. They've been perverting it since then. Trying to take our individual sovereignty away from us by force and say the state, i.e. the government, is the sovereign. That's bullshit. The government, the state, is nothing but a fictitious corporation. It is not a living, breathing man or woman. Living, breathing, blood, flesh and blood, man or woman, those are the sovereign. Not this fictitious corporation posing as government. They're going to try and take the money away from us, make it all digital currency so they can control your money, keep track of what you spend. You know, getting into the 5G, 6G, it's nothing but a military control tactic. Start looking into the actual technology of 5G and 6G. The frequency ranges they use, the millimeter waves they use and stuff like that. That has been allotted to them by the FCC, which is nothing but a goddamn bureaucratic bullshit fucking organization too. They just want to fast track this shit. They don't even care about research and testing of this stuff. They don't care. They just want to implement this. It is nothing but a weapon. It's a military weapon. People need to wake up, dude. People really need to wake up. Yeah, witch doctor's out there. The 1122 wingnut on the side.
South Carolina, I didn't get your numbers. There's a Florida station coming in at night, but his audio is on the breaking up. I don't know if you have a problem there, so probably check that and see if you're serving there for Bo. It's being broken up on my end. The station there in Florida. The South Carolina station, good evening.
It's the 1122 wingnut on the side.
CQDX, 824 TNT West Indies, trying to send it back.
824, you're making it to Panama. 1122 listening. I guess he can't hear me. I don't know why. Yeah, I know people are watching these things every once in a while. Very few people, like one or two people, is watching live feeds every once in a while. Like, no, right now nobody's watching, so I guess somebody was just watching it during the lunch break or something. But I know people actually watch these videos. You know, I get about 5 or 6 people watching them or something like that. So, I mean, you know, for you people that are watching, I'm curious what you think about what I'm talking about. You know, I'm curious what the average, everyday, normal motherfucker out there in the United States or around the world thinks about what I'm talking about. I mean, you know, these are some of the things that even the mainstream media, because they're controlled by the communists anyway, are not going to talk about. Not even going to try and talk about. Because they want us to just think about football or NASCAR or fight amongst ourselves about, oh, I'm Republican or I'm Democrat. You know, fight amongst ourselves between the two wings of the same bird, which is all bullshit, because the people that are in control are going to stay in control no matter what party is in there. It doesn't matter. So this control is what we've got to destroy. You understand what I'm saying? We've got to. I mean, I can't do anything about it. All I can do is talk about it. You know what I mean? All I can do is talk about it and ask questions, get other people's opinions, their input. But other than that, I can't really. It's not like I'm not like some, you know, Blackwater ops dude, you know, where I can just go out and start doing stuff. I ain't anywhere near that. I'm not, you know. That's another thing you got to worry about too, man, is them fucking Blackwater guys, you know, following orders no matter what it is. Doing it for money. I need to shut up. Just the 1122 wing nut on the side. The 1122 wing nut on side. Keeps on keying up right when I key up. I'm trying to get good shot, but anyway. Double 122 on the side. It's a double 122 wing nut on the side. Oh, hail, fire, and damnation. Where's everybody at? The 1122 wing nut radio, wiggling modulation out there on the frequency. I'll go check around. Let's...
Propagation is in and out. It is sporadic here at the moment. Have a good evening. Wish luck on the site. Hey, 29. I guess the propagation is in your up there because it's moving up and down the northern latitudes back down south to Florida. It's not standing still there, 29, South Carolina, good. Okay, 29, South Carolina, have a good evening and the good numbers. Good copy and you're into the island of Trinidad. Swing it up back there, there's a kiosk inside there, the kiosk ain't good. Well, positive, I'm on the island of Trinidad, 8 miles off the northeast coast of South America, good. Tonight, Tampa Bay, there's a 429 Randy, my longtime friend there around Delray Beach. Good to meet another 429 on frequency there, good. Okay, 429 Tampa Bay. Have a good evening there. And before we talk to you again, which is up there, one radio 001 on the island of Trinidad, 73, so thanks for the number. There, Mr. 429. Nine double two, South Carolina. Good evening, sir.
The 1122 wing nut on the side. Well, there's not much going on. It's kind of drifting out. I think I'm going to stop there.